Welcome to Bill Dance Saltwater. Great fun, fishing that anyone can do. Yes, you can do this. Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another saltwater fishing trip with Bill Dance. Now, Bill's been fortunate enough to have fished in many different bodies of water over the years. From his childhood roots wading in the small creeks of Middle Tennessee, to the big reservoirs like Pickwick Lake and the mighty Mississippi River, and in some of the finest saltwater there is to offer. But there's one thing that all these fishing trips have in common. No, it's not the number of fish caught, or how big some of them fish were. No, it's simply the memories he made on the way with friends, just doing the thing he loves, fishing. You see, there's more to fishing than just catching. It's the sun just starting to climb up over the treetops. It's the perfect cast, a beautiful jump, and more often than not, it's the people you're sharing the boat with. After all, life's all about making memories, doing the things you simply love to do. Today, Bill is making more memories with his dear friend and excellent fishing guide, Captain Peter Deeks, as they fish the Indian River Lagoon along Florida's Space Coast. These two have made many memories together they'll treasure for the rest of their lives, like Bill catching his largest speckled trout ever, or Peter landing a big redfish that had been swallowed by a Goliath grouper mid-fight, and catching some high-flying acrobatic tarpon in the tiny freshwater tributaries that flow into the Indian River. But today, these great friends are making new memories as they fish for monster snook near Palm Bay, Florida.
There's one.
You got one?
I got one.
What is it?
It's a snook.
Is it a good one?
Yeah, a good one. I don't think he knows he's hooked. He's just barely cruising.
Sometimes those real big ones, you know, I haven't gotten a good look at them, but the big ones sometimes just, they don't fight super fast. They just fight hard and slow.
It looks like another school's right out there, and he's trying to go to it.
It does, doesn't it? It is.
There he goes. There he's oh, look at it. Oh, he's stripping it now. Look at him strip it.
Listen to that.
Nelly.
I think this is going to be an impressively large one, based on how he's fighting. We've got some big ones together. This could top
We
it.
got memorable trips together. You know, people fish all their lives just to get a hold of a fish like this. Snook fishermen.
It's a big, old, smart fish.
Yeah, they're smart and big. There he is right there. Look
Look
at
at
him
the
in the
size of
water.
that beast.
Oh, boy, that's a big.
Here, let me get your 40-foot net. Look at this sucker. Yeah, he's probably got more runs left in him.
Right here he comes back around. Look at that drag. There he is on top.
Yeah, keep lifting. I'm gonna go right at him.
Right over his gills.
Yep, keep lifting. Lift, lift, lift. Holy moly. Oh my goodness.
That is a big one. Woo!
No, I think it's the biggest. I'm not even joking. Like, we've caught giants. Yeah.
You better choke up right here. What a snook.
Gosh. Oh man.
Woo. Well, I'll tell you one thing.
Incredible. Beepa, you are the man. Look at that. And you hooked him perfect.
Huh?
That gamakatsu 7-out octopus was right there in the corner of the mouth. I was worried that he was fraying through the leader, but he wasn't. You hooked him perfect.
Whew.
Holy smokes. Goodness gracious. That thing is giant.
How much do you think he'll weigh?
Man, I don't want to over-exaggerate, but that's like one of the heaviest snook I've ever caught. I mean, he's high 30s, for sure.
I bet he's over 40 pounds.
He might be.
He has to be, because we had 140 one time, and he's bigger than anything I've ever caught.
It's giant. I don't like exaggerating, because that thing is
Let me
giant.
hold it.
Bill Dance Saltwater is sponsored in part by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Your adventure starts here. Quantum Rods and Reels, Quantum Performance Tuned. And by Mercury Marine, go boldly. Today's Conditions Log is brought to you by Mercury Marine. Mercury Marine.
There's one.
You got one?
I got one. Woo! Good jump.
Holy moly. Holy smokes. Goodness gracious. That thing is giant. You know, Bill, the more I think about that big snook you caught, I mean, that was a true trophy. We've caught some big snook together, and man, I think that was the biggest. I'll bet you it was close to 40 pounds. It was a true giant. And I guess to compare it to a largemouth bass, it would be like an 18 or 19 pound largemouth. I mean, avid snook fishermen fish their whole lives for a fish that size, and most of them never get one like that. So that was really cool.
Well, I know it was the biggest one I ever caught. I know there's a difference of 10-pound tests between, say, 30 and 40-pound fluorocarbon. But do you think just that 10-pound could make a difference to a fish, say a fish like a snook or a tarpon that's got a real keen sense of vision as a result of the big eyes?
Absolutely, Bill. The lighter the leader, the better. So for snook, you know, we can get away with 40 or 50 pound test, and that's what we'll use. If we jumped up to like 60 or 80 pound leader, the fishers, they'll see it, and a lot of times they're not going to eat your bait. So fish that have big eyes that see well, you want to use the lightest fluorocarbon leader that you can get away with.
Fluorocarbon is not totally invisible.
It's not, no.
No, but it's a whole lot better than mono.
It is. It is a whole lot better than mono. And what we'll do when we're in the really clear water is we're using braided line today. I use braided line pretty much all the time, but I'll use about 8 to 10 feet of light, like 20-pound fluorocarbon, and then I'll tie my leader on there. That way it's about as invisible as you can get and still be able to land these big fish. So we've got our braided line. These are your reels. What is that, 20-pound?
No, that's 30 pound.
30 pound
That's X9 Berkeley X9 braid, which has got, this is 30 pound, believe it or not, which has got about an 8-pound mono diameter, which it's a round braid.
Right.
And it's extremely, extremely strong, and it's an extremely good braid. And then what you've got it tied to, how big is this fluorocarbon here?
So now we're jumping up to 20-pound fluorocarbon.
That's a Berkeley fluorocarbon.
It is.
100% fluorocarbon.
This is Berkeley Vanish.
All right, so you've got a short piece of 100% fluorocarbon, and then you've got that connected to Vanish,
Yep.
which is about 8 feet section, and it goes all the way up to what we're using is X9 30-pound braid,
Yeah.
and it goes all the way into our reel.
Right. When you're live bait fishing, a lot of times the fish are going to swim through your line before they get to the bait. Like an artificial, you're bringing the artificial by, they're going to go straight to the artificial.
And
A live bait's out there, and that fish has got to go through your line to the bait. So you want to make sure you have this really clear fluorocarbon so that they don't see it. And then at the end of this, so we've got, you've got your braided line, you've got your light fluorocarbon so they don't see it when they come in. You've got your heavier fluorocarbon here so they don't bite through, and then you've got your gamakatsu hook, and this is a 7/0 octopus. That's what we're using for these big snook today, and that's my favorite snook hook right there.
what is that? That's a gamakatsu octopus?
Octopus, yep.
Now you like a straight inline hook, right?
I do.
With an offset eye?
Offset eye, yep, that's it right there.
Come here, little fella.
Well, they cut it up, don't they?
Yeah, that one was full of himself.
Today's show is brought to you in part by Mako Boats, building legends for over 40 years. Gamakatsu, the world's finest fish hooks. And Bill Dance exclusive rods by Quantum. Today's show is brought to you in part by Berkeley, catch more fish. Garmin, fight your fish, not your fish finder. And by Mystic Lubricants, lubrication domination. Today's equipment log is brought to you by Gamakatsu, because the fish of a lifetime only comes once in a lifetime.
Big trout.
Big and drag, huh? Oh.
So I'll tell you something I learned here recently. You know, fish communicate with one another.
Yeah, I believe that.
And like drum in particular, they make that drum, drum, drum noise. If one drum drums a certain frequency, it scares all of them. I've seen big schools bust off a flat because one fish gets scared. But, something I've witnessed here was a big school of redfish
Right.
out in the middle of the river.
Right.
And then you'll find there'll be like 1,000 fish in these schools. And then you'll find a smaller school, let's say 20 to 100 fish. If you follow that school, oftentimes that little school will take you to the big school. And they have to communicate, because I've followed schools of fish 3-4 miles, and they end up with like the mothership. And so
if you're following the small school of redfish and you follow them long enough, they take you to the big school.
They will.
Yeah,
it's
I believe
pretty
that.
cool.
I read the best book I ever read about fish anatomy. Of course, my granddaddy taught me a lot about fish anatomy, more so than fish techniques.
Okay.
But I did learn a lot about growing up fishing creeks and moving water, which I still love to do. But he taught me a lot about fish anatomy. But the best book I ever read was a book that Mark Sosin wrote, Through the Fish's Eye. And a lot about vision,
Okay.
and a lot about sound.
Okay.
And yeah, I ought to read that book. That's a good trout right there.
He is. Look at that guy.
Ooh, sister.
Let's look at the pretty color on him.
Look, he's wrapped all. I got him hooked good, hasn't I?
Yeah.
That is you think he's 6 pounds?
Yeah, he's probably right at 6 pounds. Maybe a little more. I'm just messing with you, B-Paul. I'll give you 6.5 pounds for him.
Thank you. As many as you've caught, you ought to know.
I know. I like to catch the biggest. All right, we'll get her back in.
Yeah. See him yawn.
Isn't it it's just a perfect specimen. It's
Watch him go right under the boat. Look. Oh, that's good trout, boy.
Little junky old trout.
Ooh, look out, boy. That's a big trout. Look at the size of that trout.
Yeah, you want to hold my pole? You still got a fish or not?
I got it.
Oh, wow, this is a really...
How big is that trout?
This one's a good one. He's going to be over 7.
See how we do things here? This is teamwork. This is what you call teamwork, folks.
And how come I'm in the water?
Huh?
How did I end up in the water?
Ooh, what a trout.
Yeah, it's about 7.5 pound fish.
How much?
Probably 7.5 pounds, 27 inches, huh?
Yeah,
I mean, he's beautiful. Just check him out.
that is a beautiful trout.
Just a beautiful Indian River Lagoon sea trout.
And away she goes. Way to go, buddy. You know why you did that? Come here, I want to tell you something.
Yeah, what's that?
Listen, come here. I want to tell you something. Oh, excuse me, excuse me.
The Bill Dance Question and Answer of the Week is brought to you by Mystic Lubricants and their complete line of JT4 marine products. A full line of products for your full line of pursuits. Visit mysticlube.com today.
Do you ever use your special edition Bill Dance rods? Absolutely. And you know, I was surprised that they turned out so well in both bait casting and spinning. Now, these rods are lightweight, strong, sensitive, well constructed with IM6 graphite, D-ring guides, and EVA handles. Now, the reels for bait casting, they've got a great drag system and they cast so smoothly. Check them out at Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's.
Today's show is sponsored in part by Millennium Marine, a new class of comfort, and by Finnor, legendary tackle since 1933. Closed caption provided by the Bill Dance Store. Check us out online.
Today's product tip is brought to you by Garmin and their GPS map series, chart plotter sonar combos. With advanced sonar technology like Chirp and exclusive Panoptix all-seeing sonar, you'll spend less time finding your fish.
Bill, when live bait fishing, I notice you always use Gamakatsu inline octopus circle hooks. Why circles? Several reasons. The majority of fish you catch are hooked in the corner of the mouth. Most times the fish hook themselves. Landing rates are better, you don't hang up as much, survival rates improve greatly. Also, you can use lighter leaders because the line is outside the fish's mouth.
Come be part of Bill Dance Digital. Join us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Follow us.
Leave your bail open. It's racing over to it. Did he eat it or did he miss it? Push your bail. Reel, reel, reel! Woo-hoo! Get him again. Get him hard. Get real, reel, 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 reel. Faster, 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 faster.
I cannot tell you how fast that fish went from the front of the boat to the back of the boat.
These suckers are faster than bonefish, aren't they?
Bill, don't put a lot of pressure on that drag. Just loosen it a couple of clicks. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, when he makes those blistering runs, you want to make sure your drag's not too tight. God, look at that fish go.
He's huge. I loosen my drag a lot.
Yep, you're the man. You know what's up.
If you try to horse him, you ain't gonna get him.
You want me to wait out there and grab him?
You want to?
Like old time's sake?
Yeah.
All right.
Look at him. That water may be over your waist. Look at him. I just about get him. He turns that head on me. I can see him just plain as day.
All right, old time's sake, here goes. I'm getting wet for you.
Look at my man. Look at him. He just wants me to catch this fish.
I'm getting wet for you.
Look at him. There he goes in the water.
It's kind of a little deeper than I thought.
They don't make them any better than Peter Deeks. Look, he's shaking his drag. All right. Come on, fish. Look at him. Look, there he's gotten him right.
Oh, my man.
Oh, there you got him. Man was holding the mic. Let me tell you something. He hit out there. He went all the way around there. I was reeling as fast as I could reel. And then he went all the way back out here, and then he came all the way back up to here. He's got. I'll tell you what. If he's as tired as I am, he's a wore-out fish.
Here's a spectacular one.
Woo! There's another big one. Boy, there he is. Look at that big, pretty baby right there.
I love catching these fish with you, Bill. It's super special.
He's wore out. I tell you what.
Yeah.
Just turn him loose over there. Boy, what a fish.
Ready to go. Look at that strong fish.
I just can't believe how fast they swim.
Right in the thumb.
Well, there you have it. There's no question that Bill and Peter made more great memories out on the water again today. It's just a shame that our allotted showtime for now has run out. But that doesn't mean the guys have got to stop fishing or stop making more memories. And remember, this is something you can do. Yes, you can do this. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you again next time on Bill Dance Saltwater.
Got one?
I got one.
That thing is giant.
We hope you've enjoyed Bill Dance Saltwater and learned that you can do this. Yes, you can do this. Please join us right here next week.